Well,
I'm just gonna...
Well, 3 holes in a row.
All day, you just play with that all day long.
All day. Well, look.
It's close, but not close enough, is it?
3.
Anyway, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to Andertons.
Like and subscribe.
This pedal in the middle here, in fact, both these pedals here are new out, but we've literally just done the video of the RE-202, the DL4 from Boss. And I just thought, I wonder, you know, if you wanted a good delay pedal that was perhaps had some sort of, you know, nods towards a tape echo, where would you go? Would you go Volante? Would you go RE-202? Or maybe you might go DL4, which is a bit of a sort of a wild card, because of course that's got like a zillion different delays built into it.
At least a zillion.
At least a zillion. But the Mark I version was always
good
famous for having a good tape echo setting. So what you've been hearing us playing around with here is the RE-202 doesn't have different tape echo modes as such. It's just designed to sound like a space echo. The Volante you heard on its tape mode also has a drum and a studio mode, and the DL4 you heard on its Cosmos mode, which is in fact its own Space Echo 201
Cosmos being space.
emulator. I won't go up here for videos of these things. I'll have to go into the description below, but there are videos on the Andertons channel of the Volante and the DL4 Mark II and the RE-202. But look, I just thought we'd have a quick swizz through.
Yeah.
While we're here. What were your feelings of, I mean, function, you know, the RE-202 has the least functionality in that it's just designed to do a Space Echo, but you could argue it's the most like the Space Echo. The DL4 has the most functionality, as well as, you know, like 30 different delays or whatever. It's got a looper built in, but it sort of feels there's a compromise there in the sense that none of the controls are really exactly what you'd get on here. You're sort of trying to work out, this will do a bit like this will do a bit like that. And the Volante, to an extent, I almost feel like somewhere in the middle.
And we had to take the Volante and we had to, you hold down the tap button and like it on the 202, hold down the tap button, turn it on, you know, power it up, and then we had to go and sum it into mono because it's set to stereo, and as soon as you put something in stereo and it goes bang, 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 it's like, oh, that's delicious, it's the best sound I've ever heard. Where the other two doesn't do that, because of course the Space Echo originally wasn't, it was just a mono kind of thing, so there wasn't any. So what are we hearing, what did we hear in the beginning there? Because we did two things, right? Yeah,
so the first bit you heard without the distortion pedal, the second bit you heard with it, and they were on different kind of modes. So the first one I think was a more simplistic delay, the second one was trying to do that more sort of Floydy style.
Yeah, delay. And I actually know what I was going to say before, where I had this brain thing. When I'm going to go to a Marshall thing. So when you listen to old albums from the 60s when they recorded Marshalls and it sounds amazing, or Eddie Van Halen or whatever, and you plug in, you go, I'm going to get a Marshall, you plug into a Marshall and it doesn't sound like the recording, right? And then, for instance, you go and plug into a Friedman, they've nailed the sound that comes out of the recording in front of your ears, right? I think it's a little bit the same here, not that Gilmour used an Echo Rec, he used Benson Echo Rec instead of the Space Echo, but I'm getting the same kind of feeling here that I'm trying to hear something which this does better in my ears, because that seems more like I've heard on the recording, where these ones are, maybe you have to tweak a bit more. Does it make sense? That kind of analogy that you go.
Who was I'm going to task Oz with some media research, live research here. Who was the most famous Space Echo user? Because I can kind of feel like, you know, Floyd.
Could it be Hank Marvin or somebody maybe?
No, that's too early. Hank Marvin would have been a copycat, like a Wem copycat. Dave Gilmour was Benson.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who, because the Space Echo was relatively late.
Yeah, 74.
To the party.
Yeah, 74.
Yeah, so I mean,
Radiohead. It says Pink Floyd.
It does say Floyd.
Yeah, it says Floyd. Radiohead, Faithful.
So I mean, Radiohead's obviously like
Bob Marley.
20
yeah,
years
Bob Marley.
later. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Lee Scratch Perry. I was going to say that.
Who? Sorry.
Lee Scratch Perry. Yeah.
So more reggae dub stuff.
It's
Yeah.
like the analog delays.
Oh, you can hear that. You can hear you go like but like with that old kind of thing going. But like short, like funky kind of delays. Maybe there's one. Maybe there's one in the memory. I mean, you know, there is that kind of. There's many more. I'm sure there must be many more that we don't realise how many have used it. But
going through them though, so obviously the functionality of each pedal is slightly different, and I guess different units will appeal to different people looking for that functionality. But in terms of tone, there was something on the Strymon that sounded more open. To me, I mean, let's just play that.
Strymon has got. They're good at it, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm just going to... the reverbs that you're hearing are the built-in reverbs for each of these units, rather than from the amps. But I mean, we actually just turn the reverbs off for a minute and we'll just focus on the delays.
Yeah.
But so let's go this one.
But this is what I mean with it. This is what I mean, where you hear the Marshall and then you hear the Friedman and you hear this, and it's so nice and clear. But when you go, actually,
I see.
it wasn't that nice and clear. This is probably more what it was, because it was old and it was much more. It's like a record versus a CD. Or something like that, where it's so clear. And you go, oh, that's delicious, and it cuddles me in. Where the other one goes, ooh, that might have a little bit of somewhere, but that's what it does, isn't it? You know. Yes, but that's what I mean, isn't it? That's what I mean. You got much more flutter on wow. This one you got much more chorus effects modulation. It's much way more.
That's got to be on this
So, and that doesn't have the spill on.
Oh, I don't know now.
See how much exactly? As soon as you add that, man, you know
I kind of feel like
it's still clearer in a way.
If you're going to buy,
but that sounds
a character delay. So if you're going to buy a delay like a tape or an analog style delay machine, trying to turn off all of the flutter and everything like that is almost like what's the point? You know, the point is to have that character to your tone. In my opinion.
My opinion too.
Let's just go over to the DL4. I mean, money-wise, they're all relatively expensive delay pedals, but the DL4 is the most affordable one at $279. Then you have the Space Echo at $339, and the Volante is the dearest one at $379. They all run off a 9-volt supply.
All the stereo out, MIDI capabilities.
Yes.
The DL4 has got a microphone input on it.
Yeah, DL4 in terms of just functionality has got tons and tons of stuff in it. But let's have a little listen to that DL4 again. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it goes into the delay goes in. Man, it's almost like you just buy the name you like, isn't it? Go to the boss, go to the boss.
Is it psychosomatic that just because the Strymon's the dearest one, I think it's the best?
I'll tell you what, the Line 6 and the Boss are the Line 6 is closer sounding to the Boss than the Strymon is.
The Line 6, in all fairness, has got every style of delay ever in it, as well as the ability to store your memories and a looper, which is kind of crazy.
Isn't this more of a Binton?
Well,
I mean, the colours are the same, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess the drum mode is its
the Binton
mode.
Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think the selecting the tape heads on the Boss and the Volante is much clearer. On the on the DL4, the tweak control is the one that selects the heads, and you've got to try and hear where you're at on the as you're moving the knob round, which is more difficult, I think. But
can you turn that off? So let me just demonstrate this, right? So that's your clean. Here's the Volante, just summed into mono.
Oh yes,
here
it's
is
good fun in stereo.
Here we go into, if I can find the, so then you go like that, and it does this bit, and then you turn that on.
And now we're in stereo again.
So now you get the
Oh, put your headphones on, everybody.
Now
that's epic.
That's
It's good as well,
it's
man.
still good, but if you pick another delay from the Line 6 and it goes into stereo, you'll get that. And that's just the difference, isn't it? But the fact is that you can get that and you can't get that from there, Is it worth the extra money?
Go on.
This has got that smooth modulation on. What is the modulation there?
To be honest with you, I need to look up in the manual.
Yeah, but we'll deep dive into that in a bit, and then. But I don't know, which one would you get, man? I mean, it's money, no object. I mean, if you're looking for functionalities, 100% that.
It's really difficult, isn't it? For me, I think I tonally like the sound of the Volante the best.
Yeah.
Which probably means that it's not so much that I don't like either of these. It probably means in a straight shootout of if I was looking at tape machines, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe the Space Echo wouldn't be my favourite tape machine.
No.
In the demo that we did of the Space Echo, I completely lost myself in your playing, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And in the DL4 one, which we haven't done our in-depth video of right now, but we're going to do it soon, and it'll be out before this video comes out.
Yes.
Confused. I kind of feel like, it's £100 less. That's a lot of money. It's got the looper built in. That's cool. And it's got tons of other, maybe I don't, I guess the issue with the Volante is it's one big pedal to just do.
It's got a favourite, hasn't it?
Tape style
exactly.
delays. Yeah, what I mean is you couldn't then do, all the other kind of delays.
No, that's the cool thing about that. Plus it's got all legacy stuff in it. So it's got the stuff from the old one in there, as well as the other stuff,
The old one, interestingly, the legacy, oh no, that's right. So Multi-Head is one of the legacy ones, but Cosmos is one of the new ones. So anyway.
So, I mean, if you want something that does a lot of stuff, then go for the Line 6. 100%. But if you
I don't even know if this has helped at all. I think what it probably has done is they're all pretty similar sounding. They're all in a similar ballpark.
And if you close your eyes, and if you're in the audience of a big gig, and you're not watching the guitar player, and going, what kind of delay has he got?
You know what everybody wants to know, though, is what happens if you put all three
of them in, and that's still in stereo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Links below for all of these gooding things, aren't they?